Alright team, today we are studying reciprocal trig ratios. So reciprocal is a word you already know. Reciprocal means the opposite of a fraction, right? So a lot of y'all think of it as flipping the fraction, which is fine. Flip the fraction. For example, 1 over 2, the reciprocal of 1 over 2 is 2 over 1. So you saw that when you were studying slopes of perpendicular lines, right? This is where the last time this came up and it was really important. Here we have a new set of trig ratios that are the opposites of our previous trig ratios. So these are really crucial to get into your notes. You'll need this for a reference. This part of the class, this particular lesson is a memorize this so you can be ready for calculus type of topic. So you need to know these for me for next year, because these come up when we're taking derivatives of trig functions, which is half of all calculus. Okay. This isn't super hard if you've mastered the previous lessons. So essentially what this means, right, is if I say cosecant is how you read this. So the words over here, cosecant, secant, cotangent. Cosecant of an angle is just 1 over the sine of an angle. Okay, that means instead of opposite over hypotenuse, it's hypotenuse over opposite. So this is like reverse SOHCAHTOA. The secant of an angle is the opposite of cosine, so hypotenuse over adjacent. Notice it's annoyingly kind of opposite of what you'd expect it to be. So cosecant goes with sine, secant goes with cosine. I think that's because of Greek language, because the Greeks came up with this, but I'm not sure. Cotangent is the opposite of tangent, so adjacent over opposite. So all we're doing in this lesson is writing these down. I'll show you what a problem looks like here. Okay, so here, cotangent of x is what we're trying to find. And then it tells us all this stuff about the triangle. We can just ignore that for these because they give us a picture, right? You don't have to draw it on your own or anything. Cotangent is opposite of tangent, as we see up here. So cotangent of x, don't read this as cot, please. It hurts my soul. Cotangent of x is going to be, instead of opposite over adjacent, adjacent over opposite, which if x is here, make sure you look at the right angle. Adjacent is going to be 4, opposite is going to be 3. Okay, so 4 over 3 is cotangent of x. Okay, and notice if I wanted tangent of x, it would be 3. So these two things are reciprocals of each other. So that's all there is to it. As long as you have the crucial notes in your notes, you're going to be fine. So use this as a reference and then cruise through these problems. We'll do 2 more just so you can see all 3. But again, this is not super hard. Okay, secant of k we want in this one. So k again is the top angle. Secant of k is the opposite of cosine, right? So instead of adjacent over hypotenuse, it's hypotenuse over adjacent. So hypotenuse, adjacent, secant k is 37 over 12. And that's it. Notice if I wanted the cosine of k, I would say 12 over 37. So this lesson is really about getting comfortable with these, and like eventually you should have them memorized. And the cosecant of u. So cosecant is hypotenuse over opposite, right? Because it's the opposite of sine. And then u is here, opposite it would be 28, hypotenuse would be 53. So 53 over 28, right? And if I wanted to find the sine of u, it would be the opposite of this, right? So sine of u would be 28 over 53. Okay. So tackle these, make sure you have good notes on this, because in the next lesson we're putting everything together. So we're doing all 6 ratios with rationalizing the denominator. So notes will really help you moving forward.